Very interesting here.
The physical copy?
He has a Priest of Titania. He does not have a Quirion Ranger, which
over there.
is something that you kind of expect from the Legacy Elf decks. He has 4 copies of Cradle, so he's very happy to have Cradles. Summoner's Pact is obviously just about the most powerful card for a deck like this. When I played the deck, I played 4 Summoner's Pact, and a friend of mine who also played the deck and top-8'd the PTQ that I won with it, playing the same list, said to me at the end of the PTQ, if there's any card in the deck that you could start with in your opening hand every single game, what would that card be? And I said, Summoner's Pact, not close, and he agreed with me, so. He actually designed the deck. That was Chris Lockman. Not necessarily known for his deck design, but when he comes up with one, it's usually very, very good. And Petrivic Sullivan against Matt Sperling. Round 8. It's the last round of Swiss. I mean, Matt cannot be too happy with this matchup here. Red decks are not what you want to be fighting when you're an elf deck. Then again, red decks that have only point-and-shoot removal are not quite as dangerous as the ones that can have Pyroclasm effects.
Grim
But a
Lavamancer
Lavamancer just about colds Matt's whole deck.
I mean, basically what he has to do is he has to hold as much of the combo as possible in his hand, and then lay it all onto the table at once.
Mm-hmm. That's his plan.
Meanwhile, Patrick Sullivan is going to do what he often does with red, leave up mana all the time, and then just get in the damage when he's able to.
Just sneak in a point here or there. Pat plays a figure and passes the turn back to Matt. Pat doesn't get in for the point there with the Lavamancer. He decides, well, I mean, I'd much rather
have the access to do that sometime later.
Yeah, well, he just wants to, instead of like attacking with the Lavamancer, it's much better to just, leave open that mana so that you don't have to use a card to deal with the creature that Matt might play.
And just leaving open the mana, I think there's going to be a lot of moments here where you're not going to see Patrick tap much mana.
Mm-hmm.
Here, he very interestingly chooses to lay a Figure of Destiny, which means that he can pump up the Figure of Destiny at the end of the turn and still have the access to activate the Grim Lavamancer if he chooses. Whereas if he were not to lay that figure,
he can just make the other one a 4/4.
Well, yeah, but the thing is then he can't use the Grim Lavamancer.
Yeah, on the same turn.
Yeah.
It's true. And, I mean, he knows that Matt's deck doesn't interact with him at all. So he understands that this is just a straight math game, and if he wants to use this mana most effectively, this is the way he wants to do it.
We have a glimpse. It's very possible that Matt could actually just go off.
Through a Grim Lavamancer and another 1-mana burn spell, it's pretty difficult here. So Matt's going to lead with a Symbiote. It's probably the best spell you could lead with.
Interesting with actually the glimpse play here, it lets him kind of bleed out some of Patrick Sullivan's resources.
Yep.
And then still be full. Tim Aten in the background there, sitting behind Matt Sperling.
Now, if you're Pat here, when he plays another elf, do you, this is an interesting play. Matt neglected to play a third land and instead chose to remove his Elvish Spirit Guide from the game, perhaps trying to lead Pat into believing that Matt is stuck on 2 lands here.
Well, and then also it lets him lay this Gaia's Cradle that he has in his hand.
Yeah. And Pat's probably going to respond by using his Lavamancer to shoot down the Symbiote.
Yep, in response to the Birchlore Ranger. Continue. Draw a card. Land. Is that the cradle or is it force? Looks like a cradle.
It does look
Get
like
a
cradle.
symbiote. Now that symbiote can protect the ranger from further harm, and it might summon as a response. Well, it might summon a burn spell on the Birchlore Ranger, or he might let it hit and then kill the Wirewood symbiote. But either way, what's happened here is that Patrick is probably Matt Sperling, I should say, has gained 5 life, right? Yeah, that's 5 extra life for Matt Sperling, all at no cost to his cards.
Yeah. Well, he played the glimpse,
yeah.
And paying the glimpse is a pretty big deal because you only get to play 4 of it, and you know it is a full-on win condition. It lets you win the game on the spot once it gets later on.
You said 3 cards in Patrick's hand?
Hmm.
3 cards versus 5 cards? Chain Lightning.
Chain down your symbiote. Pump my figure.
And at this point, Patrick is almost playing out like a slide deck. You know, I
Attack
got
with
my
everybody.
creatures, I got my,
Yeah.
I got some spells that are burning your creatures.
So he didn't attack with the Lavamancer,
Yep,
which is...
Lavamancer sitting back to provide cover.
Well, he only has 1 card in his yard, so...
I think there are... I think it looks like maybe 2, unless I'm misseeing
No,
it.
he played 2 fetch lands, and he hasn't used... Oh, okay, so there might be a bolt and a chain, you're right. Okay, so... It's going to go ahead and play Visionary. Now his Cradle taps for mana. He's going to go ahead and play Findhorn Elves. At the end of his turn, Pat's almost assuredly going to shoot the Findhorn Elves with his Grim Lavamancer. Yeah. Now, Pat gets untap. At this point, I think he's probably just going to want to serve with both figures again, depending on what's in his hand. He has a lot of different lines of play here.
I can't make out any spell in Patrick's hand. Can you see any of them?
They're red.
Yeah. Figure.
Okay. So
And it's joined by the Grim Lavamancer.
I would guess that his hand is more creature heavy if he's willing to attack with that Lavamancer. He also puts Matt in a very awkward spot. Passes here. Some mana open. If he makes the mistake of pumping one of those figures up to a 4/4, he gives Matt an opening to perhaps just win the game on the spot.
Okay, a Grim Lavamancer and a Rift Bolt join the side of Patrick's table.
Yeah. Now, Pat only has 1 card. We're not sure what it is. It might be... if it's a 1-mana burn spell, he's probably safe this turn. If it's not, then he's in a pretty rough spot. So let's see.
One of the things that Matt has as an option within the confines of his deck is Summoner's Pact for Elvish Spirit Guide if he needs an extra little mana boost.
That's a nice little boost that he has. He already used the Elvish Spirit Guide at this point, but...
Did he? Oh, that's right. He used it to cast the extra creature and then lay out the Gaia's Cradle.
Yeah, I think here you kind of just have to go for it and hope that Pat doesn't have it. And I believe Matt has the tools right now in his hand. He has to go Elf, then Cradle tap.
1 elf, 2 elf, Summoner's Pact.
Find a Heritage Druid. Quirion Ranger would be really nice right now.
Yeah, but as we said before, he was sad to find out that he had not included a Quirion Ranger in his deck. Finding room for it could be rough.
I don't think you need 3 Fine Horn Elves. I also think Elvish Spirit Guide's a little unnecessary. Now, his 2 Summoners packed, so he's going to need to ramp up big, but he needs to be careful. Yeah,
There's
Heritage
the Druid.
Now,
another Summoner's Pact. Gets a Elvish Visionary.
Elvish Visionary. And, so he's missing a piece, and he's trying to draw to it at this point. His Cradle is going to tap for 2 mana. And he's going to go
2 mana lays the Heritage Druid. It's fine. He's got 1 mana floating, 4 mana. That's Elvish Visionary. 2 mana floating, draw a card. I see a Kasali Pride Mage in his hand. And he passes.
Yeah, I mean...
Picks up his cards.
Yeah. With multiple pacts at that point, it's Patrick can simply say go and kill him. Alright, no, I guess he has the Cradle to pay for it, but he'll be tapped out with all these guys tapped out 2 turns in a row. So Pat goes up a game, and we're going to see what these 2 are going to sideboard against each other. From Matt's deck, I would expect him to bring in the Natural Order package. That seems like a reasonable plan. For Genesis, seems like a good way to beat red.
We're going to see Searing Blaze on the other side.
Yeah, Searing Blaze will for
that's
sure
probably about it.
But I mean, that's just about it.
I would probably expect that Pat would take out the non-interactive card. He's got 4 Searing Blades, which is an easy in for 4 somethings. So it's either going to be the 4 Price of Progress,
or the Flame Rifts.
Yeah, or the Flame Rifts. I'm probably going to say Price of Progress. There's he's only got Gaia's Cradle to think about. That, so the Price of Progress is 2 damage.
He probably has like Pendle Havens or something. So, yes, he has 1 Pendle Haven.
Yeah, so there's the possibility for it doing more, but it's fairly unlikely.
Yeah. Pendle Haven's an insane card in this deck, by the way. And I know that may seem crazy, but I have won many, many games by attacking people in Pendle Havening, or double blocking and Pendle Havening. Sometimes it's the only way you can win. Elvish Visionary is vicious at a 2/3. Now, one thing I really like about his list is the 4 Green Sun Zenith. It seems like it's a definite must for this deck, basically from now till infinity.
He basically said it was like having 4 extra Llanowar Elves with the ability to kick it for better cards. Because like you can cast it for 0 and get your Dryad Arbor, and have that turn 1 Llanowar Elf-like ability, and then later on in the game have it be actually doing things usefully.
Yeah, I like that he has the Dryad Arbor. It allows him to just use it as a Llanowar Elf when he wants to. Those who play the deck know that Wirewood Symbiote is far and away the most important card.
It's such a crazy creature, you know, like just being able to have a Wirewood Symbiote let you start doing this kind of unfair stuff, not just protecting your elves, but making your combo go off.
I really like Bat's Win Condition in the form of a Rockle. Normally when you combo off with elves, like, you need a way to win. In the past, I've used Grape Shot. And Rockwool is it's definitely the best way to go about this now in Legacy. Getting an untapped step with elves is incredible. It doesn't require you to splash another color. It's a single card. It's uncounterable.
One of the things,
even if they have some way to actually like get the Rockwool off the table, which is very unlikely, you're just going to kill them with the Time Walk anyway.
Yeah, one of the things that is the case. There are lots of other possible kills. You brought up the Storm Kill. The Storm Kill is extraneous when you haven't or probably how to say this. The Storm Kill is a card that can be interacted with in a lot of different ways. Whereas the Emrakul, if you get the mana going, it'll just work. And then a card like Cloudstone Curio. Cloudstone Curio is again another thing that like it can get something going if it's unmolested, but at the same time, there's so many ways to stop it.
Yeah.
I remember.
Wait, there are ways to stop Cloudstone Curio?
Yeah,
I've never seen somebody stop a Cloudstone Curio.
Yeah, like
I've literally never lost when I've had one in play. Obviously,
I'm not saying have one in play.
Okay, yeah. All right, he's gonna Zenith here for Dryad Arbor, giving you access to 3 mana.
This is the play we were talking about before. My one copy of Dryad Arbor has seen a lot of play. He has the ability to play it the way I was playing it back in the day, which is he's got different fetch lands that he can go and get a Dryad Arbor in a pinch if he happens to need a blocker. Patrick go searches through his library for a mountain.
Is that a Beta Mountain? Ooh, that looks nice.
What kind of forest is that over there?
I believe that is also a Beta Forest.
Oh, I was talking about the Dryad Arbor. Oh.
That's Future Sight.
And a lightning bolt takes out Dryad Arbor. Fake land werewolf. Here's another fake land werewolf named Finhorn. Finhorn Elf. Only one forest for Matt Sperling for mana. Elvish Spirit Guide appears to be in his hand. Patrick searches again.
Yep. I don't know how much experience Pat has against the Elf deck, but it's very, very dangerous. If they have as little as 4 cards in their hand and 3 lands in play, they can kill you from an empty board. So,
and again,
yeah, he definitely recognizes that. He is playing.
Grim
He's playing the
Lavamancer.
defensive game that Elves requires you to play if you don't play that type of game.
Matt says go ahead. He's got nothing going. Goblin Guide. Oof.
Free Cradle. Put Matt down to 18.
Suspend a Riftbolt. Now Matt Sperling suddenly has some decisions to make. He definitely has mana now.
Oh yeah.
Does he want to lay out into the Grim Lavamancer just to, get a little bit of life gain at this point?
Just get those cards out of the graveyard, perhaps. Yeah. I mean, Pat's down to like 2 cards probably, and Matt still has a full grip. I feel like he may just want to bait with a non-Nettle Sentinel, non-Heritage Druid creature.
He sits back himself, letting the Riftbolt work itself out.
And I mean, that's a completely fine play. Now, Pat's just doing some math. It's what red players do. Count.
Yeah. What's your life at?
13 minus 2 is 11.
Let's do this. See what we can figure out here. I can only get you to 11. I mean, on to 2.
Yeah.
Taps a little bit more mana, suspends another Riftbolt, has a Figure of Destiny. Empty-handed, and now he's just relying on Grim Lavamancer to keep himself afloat. He's threatening to deal, if nothing else happens, 2 damage from a Grim Lavamancer. The Riftbolt will do another 3. The Goblin Guide will do another 2 for a total of 7. The Figure of Destiny can make it 9, and then it can be pumped up to 11.
Yep.
He's threatening for the kill. Now, even if Matt puts out some stuff to stop that kill from happening, he's still in a pretty difficult spot.
I mean, all he has to do is draw a land here, Matt, and he's in the game. If he has the Elvish Spirit
He
guy
has
in his
it in
hand, he
hand,
might
yeah.
just he might just win this turn. He could win this turn.
He's got to win it through. I'm saying he
He
has
could
to
win
put
through
stuff out
Lavamancer.
to make it so that he doesn't die.
Yeah, and then he
he
could win
still
next
has to
turn.
win through the Grim Lavamancer.
Yeah. One more land would make winning through the Lavamancer really easy. It's right now it's kind of tough. I'm trying to think now. I'm going into elf mode. So he can lead with he can't really, because then he can't get value out of that. He just needs another land. He needs to just play guys into the Lavamancer and have them die. I would play, again, non-Heritage Druids, non-Virtual Arranger, non-Nettle Sentinel creatures. Matt goes ahead and decides he wants to play Heritage Druid. He,
Wait.
Yep. Now, Matt goes ahead and kills the Heritage Druid there. Now, Nettle Sentinel is going to let Matt kind of pseudo go off here. I'm not sure what he quite has in his hand, but what he can do is he can tap both of these for mana, and then when he plays another creature, it'll untap the Nettle Sentinel. Now, what's in his hand? I'm not quite sure, but he can pass the turn and use the Nettle Sentinel as a blocker and then return it to his hand with the Symbiote's ability.
Figure goes up to a 2/2. Untap the Rift Bolt.
Let's see
Now
where
with
Rift Bolt gets
Patrick
aimed.
unable to actually do the kill anymore, the Rift Bolt is going to be becoming a control card at this point.
Yeah, I'll probably be killing the Symbiote.
Yep, the Symbiote, the only card that he can effectively kill without having the Sentinel just save it. So the question that has to be in Matt's mind is whether or not he wants to preemptively save a creature from Grim Lavamancer.
Well, I think he's thinking about if he draws a glimpse, does he need the Ranger in his hand to win the game? Because his hand is just 2 Zeniths, so he doesn't have the gas to start the combo. So he just bins the Symbiote. Seems fine.
Patrick looks at a card.
Yeah.
Has 2 cards in his yard for the Grim Lavamancer now. Has a 2/2 Figure of Destiny, a Goblin Guide to join that Grim Lavamancer, and with the 4 mana, can activate the Grim Lavamancer and activate up to 4/4 his figure. But all of that's going to be done with patience.
Yeah, I mean, I think the correct play is actually to shoot the Nettle Sentinel here. I think you'd want to shoot it anyway.
I don't mind
Then
attacking
there's no
into
way
it,
not to
honestly.
win. Yeah, I guess then you get it either way.
Yeah. What was that? That was
Viridian Shaman.
Viridian Shaman?
Yep.
Okay. The thing about blocking here, wow, takes it, is that it takes so much wind out of the sails of Sperling for in terms of his mana. So he takes 6 as it's leveled up.
Does he flip for this Goblin Guide?
He did flip, and it was the Viridian Zealot.
Oh, it was the Viridian.
Yeah.
Viridian Shaman. Okay. So
A Viridian Shaman.
yeah, now he's out basically. As long as that Nettle Sentinel's off the table.
See
there's
that
really no way he
handshake
can
or
win.
that head shake? Not happy about it. He's like, oh, if only you had given me a land.
And it's true. There were many turns where, even though it never seemed like Matt was in that game, there were many turns where he was dangerously close to killing Pat.
One of the things about attacking with into a mana hungry opponent, right? With a Goblin Guide, when they're at a pretty high life total, it can be dangerous. But the Elf deck plays so few land. There we are.
Yep.
Patrick Sullivan
Burns ball off the
2-0
top
against
there.
Matt Sperling.
And Patrick Sullivan's in the top 8 of another event. I was in New Jersey